Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Weekly Whatever, where we have some good news for everyone. Savage is gone.
Yes!
I think Brad's pretty excited about this.
Yes! This
The
is the
faith
greatest day.
faith is very pleased.
The faith of Fishback is in celebration on this glorious day, randomly 4 days after the episode.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Nobody knows.
And nobody noticed.
That's a
uh
sad comment, actually.
yeah. Uh great episode. Fantastic finish to the episode. We're gonna break everything down, talk about Savage, probably a decent amount.
And then
Before
not again for the
and
rest of
then
the
never
season.
again until we talk about his jury question and how he's like
That's true.
all still broing down, even if there's no bros in the finals. Like, man, like it should be me, Joe, and Jeremy there. Fucking bullshit. So we're gonna get into this episode. Before we do, be sure to hit the like and subscribe, and you can check out my blog and follow me/us on Twitter and comment on things. All right, are you ready?
I'm super ready.
So ready. All right. So we see Savage go home this episode. He is idled out of the game. Kelly Wentworth plays her idol. 9 votes get negated.
That was pretty magical.
The most in history ever being negated by an idol. Such a cool moment. Just before we really get into anything too specific, what were your thoughts when you saw Savage's name get flipped around there?
I was I honestly didn't think they had it in them. I thought I thought it was just gonna go and they would just dump it the way everyone thought. Like who else was getting thrown around? I think
Fishback.
Yeah, I was really afraid for Fishback actually, but they did exactly what they should have done.
Yeah,
They did the smart thing.
I I was really nervous throughout the whole episode because they made it look like Fishback is going home.
Yeah,
Savage overhears Fishback targeting Joe. He tells Joe. Joe wants to get Fishback. Looks like Fishback's in trouble. But once Kelly played her idol, I was pretty confident that they wouldn't waste it on getting Fishback. That just seemed, I mean, it just seemed dumb to do that. I don't think Sierra and Wentworth are super dumb. So I was pretty confident they wouldn't get Fishy there, and I'm so glad that they picked Savage.
so why does it not make sense to idle out Fishback? Because the
Well,
idol isn't to get someone out; it's just to save their alliance, right?
yeah, but Savage
You
is
think
not gonna work with them ever.
ever?
And we
Okay,
saw at the beginning of the
Fishback.
episode, Fishback and Sierra were talking about getting Joe.
Mm.
Um, so and Sierra's just looking for anything, and she's not gonna get it from Savage. I just think, I mean, Savage is a big threat in this game. When are you gonna get him out?
Yeah, right
And
now apparently.
and right now, exactly, that's the right time. And Fishback, you can get him anytime. He's never gonna win immunity because Joe's just gonna keep winning all of them.
Joe's got it in the bag.
Yeah, 8
Got it
more
on
to
lock.
go. Here we go. Um,
He should just tattoo it onto his neck and take the actual idol out of the game.
so that's exactly what he should do. Um, all right. So here's my question for you about Andrew Savage, because interestingly, I don't know if he said this in his exit final words or if it was the exit interviews that I was listening to and reading, but he talked about how he played a pretty good strategic game.
Yeah, he said
Eh,
that.
yeah, and initially when I heard that, I was like, "Are you retarded? That's so dumb to say that." But when I think about it, I mean, he's not really that wrong because
Yeah, he worked with Tasha on
Angkor, they
Angkor.
they went 2 into 4 and ended up on top. I don't know how much you can credit Savage or Tasha, but we didn't
What?
really see it, so okay, I'll give him equal credit just because. So I think he actually played a decent strategic game. He was the leader of his alliance on the original Bion. Um, but it's just the social game that I think gets him. But more specifically, I have a multiple choice question for you.
Okay. Excited.
When do you think Savage loses the game? Is it in the last episode with the whole shit going down with Sierra when he wanted to just throw her name out?
Hmm.
Is it when he tells Joe the plan that Fishback is trying to get him out? Is it when he gives up on getting Fishback out? Or is it when he doesn't split the vote?
So he doesn't split the vote. Who brought that up last time? It was Jeremy, right? It was kind of on Jeremy. I don't know why they
Kind
didn't
of.
split it. They had the members too.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that they're just worried that somebody will flip or two people would have to flip. I didn't break down the numbers. Um,
Was their group that wobbly? Like they've done votes with that group before last week.
I really don't know. I know it seems just insane to not split the vote, and I agree. Um, I don't think I necessarily agree that that's when he loses the game.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Well, I mean, he lost. He lost through a combination of all of those things. I guess he lost when he made an enemy of Sierra, maybe.
Okay. I kind of agree. That's where I was kind of leaning as well. If not that, then it's going to Joe. I mean, yeah, it is really a combination of all those things. I was just like
Why did
something
going
here.
to Joe
Well, here's
screw
the
him?
thing. He's in such a good spot in his alliance. But for the
Hmm.
most part, he's still kind of the head guy, but Jeremy's also taking some of that heat. So all he has to do is nothing. Just exist. And he overhears Fish going after Joe before the immunity challenge, and just loses his mind and goes to tell Joe, and Joe freaks out, and it starts this whole chain of events where it's like, all right, guys, we're all together, we're gonna get Fish back, and then Jeremy's like, yeah, we're not gonna do that, and then Savage has to go back on that, and it kept his name really in the mix of things I don't think it needed to be, and I think he was good for a little while. All he had to do was nothing. Kind of like Fishback, and Fishback almost screwed himself too.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see what you mean.
All right. Let's talk about this idol because this was a sick play that Kelly
Yeah.
Wentworth pulled off. Obviously, I think it's pretty clear that she knew she was getting the votes.
Yeah. You think Joe tipped her off?
I'm 100% positive Joe chipped her off.
Oh, did someone say that?
I'm pretty sure Sierra or Wentworth, one of the two of them, said on Twitter that Joe told them.
Mm.
But you'd expect that he would, right?
Yeah, I thought he might, but
Yeah.
interesting that they didn't.
It
Well, I mean, I can't show
yeah, that would have been silly to show. It would have taken all the tension out. But
that.
he's just Joe shouldn't have done that. And what's funny is because he told them, he's the reason that Savage got bounced,
Oh yeah,
which is
but
awesome.
well, yeah. But I love just the fact that now everyone really knows that idols are real and they
Yes.
still exist, and it's gonna be so chaotic next week.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for that.
That's very exciting. Yeah, and the fact, yeah, there's another idol we assume going back into the game now because Wentworth played hers.
Mm.
Um and as far as we know, no one knows or has any suspicion about Jeremy having the idol,
Hmm.
which is great for
Yep.
Jeremy, and he's having just a fantastic string of episodes. The merge has been very kind to Jeremy Collins. He's doing a okay, um, and I think this worked out perfectly for him because now he never has to get rid of Savage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like
As
he would have had to do that at some point,
hmm.
and I feel like Savage would probably hold that grudge, and now he can't do that because it's Wentworth's fault and Joe's. Um, so great episode for Jeremy, and the fact that he's able to just go, yeah, we're not doing Fishback, we're not, and then just like, well, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that was definitely like
yeah.
power.
Oh yeah.
By the way, this is happening.
But yeah, that plan that you have put in motion, yeah, it's off. I love that. Great episode for Jeremy. This idol play, where does this land for you? And I know you didn't do a full 30 season rewatch.
True.
Um, But if you can think of other epic idol plays like Russell playing an idol for Parvati, Parvati pulling out two idols, both of these are in heroes versus villains. If you have any of these in your memory banks, where does this idol play land on that list for you?
Yeah, I super don't.
Great. All right.
Co-hosting to the
This is a
max.
good question. Yeah.
Where does it land for you?
it's it's definitely up there. I think the only thing that kind of brings it down is the fact that she knew she was getting the votes.
Yeah.
I think Parvati playing an idol for Sandra and Jerry and negating all the votes for Jerry in Heroes versus Villains was that's the top.
Pretty banana.
Yeah. But this was really really crazy.
Honestly, Jeremy get two and really fuck shit up.
That would be
Here.
so fun. I'm okay with that because he's not turning on Fishback for a while. That's like Final Four shit. So I'm good
Here's what
with
I want to
that.
see. I want to see Jeremy get one, and then eventually people find out that he has one, but then they only think he has one, and then they try and draw it out, and
I'm
then
with that.
he does some crazy shit with the other one.
I'm with that big time. I like that. Yeah, if like he can find the second one publicly or
Yeah.
tell some people and yeah, tell some close line members. What do you think about the perception that the top 4 of the alliance was Jeremy, Savage, Tasha, and Fishback or Joe? This is Sierra's point of view. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have that perception. I just kind of it's Jeremy. Jeremy's everything. Um, but obviously we have more information than they do. So what do you think of that perception that
I would
Tasha's actually
think
at the top?
I think Tasha's up there. I think that Tasha and Savage carried over from Anchor and stuff. And yeah, I would say they're up there. I don't know. Was Spencer up there really? She said Spencer?
No.
Oh.
Savage, Jeremy, Tasha, Fishback, or Joe. Fishback or Joe was the fourth member.
Oh.
She named 5 people in the 4-person.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um I think that all it seems pretty sound to me. I
Okay.
would say those are all people who were kind of comfortable and working against Cass and stuff last week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Um yeah. Okay. I can't really find anything anything more to build on there. That just makes a lot of sense. It was a little surprising to me, especially that Joe was in there too. It's so weird because Joe was a target by Fishback, and it's weird that that's
That's
the
a
top 4.
secret.
That's a secret that Fishback went and told a whole bunch of people. Um, how about that? What do you think he was overplaying?
Yeah, he's
Because
still overplaying. He still really just fucking wants to get rid of Joe so bad.
he does,
He
he
just
does.
wants it. And he knows that it will mark a turning point for the game. And it will.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it'll make idols actually go elsewhere. Really mix up the bag, you know?
Yeah. Um, you're right. He called Joe his white whale
Yeah.
in this one, which is good. But Savage is also up there on his list. He had 2 guys that are really after him.
Hmm.
And it's Savage and Joe, and he got rid of Savage without having to do anything. Um,
Well, that was a freebie.
that was a freebie. So now, if he can get Joe, who's coming after Fishback, man? This is
What he has to
great.
do is convince someone has to convince Joe to give them his immunity idol, like his challenge immunity.
Yeah, and just Reichenbach him out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll redeem you in the eyes of the jury.
Join the jury.
Has just joined the jury. Yeah, I forgot that actually happened to Brandon Hance as well in
Yeah.
South Pacific, his first
Yeah.
season. Yeah, at Final Five, I believe.
Final five, he gave up
Final
individual
Five, he gave up
rival or
individual.
challenge immunity.
Yeah, he said because it was like a whole dramatic thing of fighting at the camp or whatever, and then
Of course.
uh, it's kind of like Coach kind of pinned it on God. Like, God told me to write Brendan's name
Oh
down
my
tonight, so I'm gonna do it.
god. I remember that. That was
Yeah,
so painful.
yeah. But that was crazy. I forgot that totally happened, and man, Brandon Hance was kind of crazy, but a little bit closer to normal his first time around compared to the second time. The second time was very different. Um, all right, we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Here we go.
I I might be I might be biased. In fact, I'm entirely biased, but I don't necessarily think that Fishback was overplaying too much. I think he was overplaying a little bit, but just a little bit, because if Savage doesn't overhear him, nothing happens.
You think he was stirring the pot to like get
Why?
things going?
No, I mean Joe won immunity. If he didn't win immunity, I think Fishback would have pushed it pretty hard. But because Joe did win immunity, if Savage didn't overhear that, nothing would have happened. Right? Because Savage is the one that started everything. He's like, hey, Joe, Fishback's coming after you. And then Joe went and grabbed people.
Yeah.
But if Savage doesn't do that, no one's coming after Fishback because no one knows that Fishback's going after Joe. No one's going to say it.
So
So,
I'm
look,
confused. You're saying he wasn't overplaying because he
because
might not
nothing.
have been overheard?
Well, if he's, yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, it's a kind of a fluke thing that he gets
Ah,
overheard.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's bad that he got overheard, but I don't think it's necessarily that. Like, it's not like he was just going to everyone on the. If he goes to Savage, he's like, we gotta get out Joe. It's like, you're stupid. But I don't think it was necessarily that bad.
Hmm. All right. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of wiggle room there. That's all I'm saying. Because if Savage doesn't overhear him, then that's not a story in the episode. We
Sure.
never see it. It's a very thin line. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Um,
What else happened?
Joe
What
won
was the
immunity.
reward?
We talked about that a little bit. The reward challenge. The hell was the reward challenge?
Oh, it was motorcycles and stuff.
Oh,
I don't
that
remember
was the
the
reward.
challenge.
That was actually at the reward where Keith was driving around on a motorcycle thing. Yeah. Uh, that was them rowing a boat.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
rowed a
right.
boat and then
Boat building.
they made sure no repeating colors were on the same side of a thing.
Yeah.
And the only interesting thing that might have happened in that reward challenge is if we got to see the schoolyard pick, which we didn't. So
We never do.
we never do. Would have been good because it was like a major bro down on one of the teams with Abby and Fishback also
Also.
there. It would have been interesting if we got to see how that happened. Like, who's the captain on that team? Is Abby the
Who
captain?
got picked last? Oh, you think? I was gonna say he got picked
I don't
after
know.
Abby or Fish.
I think Abby's
Oh,
picked
really?
dead last on that team. 100%. I don't know.
Yep.
That would have been interesting. The immunity challenge was another ball balancing challenge. Like, did they cut the budget for the challenges this
Yeah.
season? Like, what is
Just
happening?
more balls.
More
We're reusing
balls.
several assets from last
Yeah.
week.
It's like, okay, we have some balls and some discs. We want to make you guys balance the balls every week. This is
Hope you guys like balls. He's like, yeah.
yeah, we're just like we need Keith to go really deep in this game. Here's some balls. Um,
But he's not winning.
he's not because Joe is fucking incredible. I
I was so mad.
so mad. I really want Joe to go home, and I actually kind of like Joe, but
I know, I think he's fine. I just want him to lose.
yeah, he's too incredible.
Yeah.
We need to have a food eating challenge. The only flaw he's shown,
Mm.
other than all of the strategic sides to the game. So What the hell? Okay. I actually did have somewhere I was going with this. In the
Okay.
final five of the immunity challenge, we had three players that were in the final five of the first individual immunity challenge. That is Spencer, Joe, and Tasha. Again, in the final five of balancing a ball on a thing. Um, and we talked about this last week. Is this a mistake? I guess it's not a mistake for Joe, but is it a mistake for people like Spencer and Tasha to continuously perform well in these challenges?
Yeah, I don't know. Because obviously it's going to paint a target on their backs once Joe gets out. Or, no, even if Joe keeps winning, they're like, well, let's get rid of second place, the
Right.
next biggest threat. But if Joe is just on the run, then it doesn't matter. No one else matters, and you can just target strategic threats. And I think that's how it's going to continue. It's like no one can even compete, so who cares about strength? Let's talk about strategic stuff.
That's a good point. But if you're Joe, don't you want to get out the strength?
If you're Joe, but no one's gonna listen to Joe. Joe's just a vote.
He had a whole bunch of people listening to him this week until Jeremy's like, Savage, no.
Yeah, I mean, he can talk all he wants. But Jeremy's the Godfather.
But I mean, I don't think Jeremy could do it again.
No, what do you
Well,
mean?
I don't think Jeremy can tell Joe we're not getting out Fishback. I think he can tell Savage we're not getting out Fishback. Savage isn't here anymore.
Why can't he tell Joe that?
If Joe wants to, if Joe is like, if Fishback's targeting Joe, and Joe knows that, and Jeremy's like, yeah, we're not getting rid of Fishback. Joe's like, what the fuck, man? Like, are we not in an alliance? I don't think he can do that again.
I guess.
Am I
I
wrong?
mean,
I don't know.
is Joe in the alliance? I mean, he's
Well,
the meat shield, but
he is the meat shield. And I mean, there was this alliance of Keith, Tasha, Savage, and Joe and Jeremy at the beginning.
mm,
The bro down with Tasha alliance. And now
right.
kind of Fishback's in an alliance with all of them
Fishback
somehow.
was in the alliance with all of them at the beginning. He
But
was
not the
an
tight.
original.
He wasn't the tight.
Oh, he was the
He was on
loose.
the outside. Yeah, he was the loose. But it was like Cass and Sierra. They were kind of on the outs of that tribe.
Yeah, but
Uh,
he kind of wormed his way in by being like more solid Bion, like by just being a
well, yeah, he was a pure Bion, but
pure
that's because
Bion.
like people like Savage left
Yeah,
to go
so that let him
die on
form
Ankle.
bonds with the others,
Yeah. So
Savage
now
and
he's tight, but I'm saying like there was this tight alliance, and so Joe and Jeremy do have a bond there.
yeah.
Um. So
Okay, so then what's Jeremy's play like? Who does Jeremy need longer in the game? The meat shield or Fish?
Fish.
He needs him longer in the game, or you want him to keep him longer
I
in the
think
game?
I think it makes more sense, and you can
What
tell me if I'm wrong because he can't beat Joe. Clearly, he can't beat Joe. In
at
challenges.
Final Tribal? Oh, in, okay,
At Final Tribal, Joe might be tough to beat too, honestly, just
yeah,
based on social game likability. But in chat, like it, so I don't think you want to sit next to Joe at the end. You got to get rid of
no,
him eventually. He's a meat shield for now, but he's a threat to win the game. So you're gonna have to beat him at some point. I think if you get a shot at Joe, you take it. He can beat,
immediately, yeah,
yeah,
for
he
sure.
can beat Fishback. I think he can beat Fishback in Final Tribal. I think he can definitely beat him in challenges, and I think he can rally numbers easier than Fishback can. So
So
I
what is he using Fishback for? Is Fishback just a number?
he's a number. I think
Mm.
he's a very solid number. He's his JT. He's his ride or die. Fish or Jeremy is Fishback's ride or die,
Mm.
but Jeremy he'll go wherever. He's got so many options.
Jeremy kind of has this game locked down. Like I can't see anyone that he could go to the end with and not win, other than Joe, which
Maybe
has him.
Joe, and I think there's an argument there for both guys for sure.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
it would just be close if it was the two of
it
them.
would. It'd be interesting. I would actually like to see that. I don't want to see Joe go all that way because
Yeah, fuck that.
come
That's awful.
on, let's stop winning these
I want to
carnival
see one
games,
guy
you
win
lunatic.
every single.
Yeah, Just like, yeah, I mean, I won season 31. I won 10 immunities in a row. I mean, I'm basically like a top 3 survivor ever. It's like Boston Rob, Kim, and me. It's like I don't want that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. Do you think that Fishback is the one to be is should be cut before Joe? From Jeremy's perspective.
Um, I think I think he should be worried about how hard Fishback is playing. Like when he sees someone he needs to get rid of, he's playing super hard. And admittedly, it's not working out right now because Joe is immovable. But eventually, Joe won't be there, and then who's it gonna be? And
Right.
how hard is Fish gonna be playing? You know?
That's a good point. And I don't know who his target is as soon as Joe's gone. Because Savage and Joe were the guys.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Good point. I don't know.
Hmm.
I hope we get to find out
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. Um, I don't think he would turn on Jeremy yet. I think turning on Jeremy is like a final 7, maybe 5 move. It'll be an odd number move just because that's how Survivor strategy kind of baseline is, and I think Fishback is very rigid, and this is how Survivor is played. I think it'll be an odd number move. 7 might be too soon. I don't know if he'd have the numbers to go all the way. 5 might be too late.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tough.
yeah, but I don't think it'll be before. It definitely won't be before then.
And we're at what, 9 right now?
I think we're at 11
10?
right now.
Oh God.
There's
You're right.
so many people still in this game. Yeah. So we got a long way to go. We still
That's what
gotta
they're gonna. That's what they're gonna. That's the secret. They're gonna do final 5.
final.
Tribal Council's
Oh
final
my
5.
god, what a fucking nightmare. They're just like, we want as many awesome people there as possible. Man,
Oh, that'd be weird.
yeah. Just like, we gotta get Joe there. We're doing a final 7 this week. This year, guys. That's what we're doing. Season's final 7. Here's a vote. It's a 3-way tie for first at 2, 2, and 2. Or a 6-way tie. Everyone got one vote except for one person. Sorry, Abby.
Bye. The rest of you build fire to win
Build
$1 million.
fire to win $1 million. Oh my god. And Keith Nail, your winner of Survivor Second Chances.
Is his last name Nail?
It's Nail.
Wow.
The fans of Keith are called Nail males. Or I guess Nail females.
That's weird.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna. I mean, there's still so many like not really large factors in the game, like Keith and Wigglesworth, and Abby's just disappeared, and so is Kimmy. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of not great dominant forces in the game left.
Hmm.
This is shaking out to be like a 4 or 5 horse race to the finish, and I don't think I mean I think Sierra and Wentworth bought themselves 3 days or a week in our time.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously one they both can't go home.
Yeah.
You got to think that they got to do a double boot episode at some point, right?
Really? I
There's
guess so.
there's still 11 people in the game. We're not doing this for like another 8 weeks, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
Final 5, man.
we're not going
Calling it.
to.
Heard it here first, folks.
Oh
Just
god.
put that in
Yeah. Yeah, when Survivor 52 Seventh Chances comes out and they're doing a final 5 to get all the favorites in there.
there.
We'll recap and bring this clip back.
Oh,
It's like Chris called it. How did he know? Oh man. This is the time. Savage is gonna win.
Savage would be old as shit.
That's true. He would be old as shit. Um,
His wife
yeah.
would still be hot though.
Yeah, of course. My God. Oh, I'm so glad he's gone. No more of this humble brag bullshit. I haven't been this tired. Like, even when I played college football, it's never this tired. It's like, that's fucking cool. Why don't you just say I've never been this tired before? It's like, oh, you played college football? Shit, man. I want you to win. Fucking asshole. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just going nowhere. I think we did it. We didn't have too much to talk about in spite of this being like a really, really fun episode.
Yeah.
This
It's
might
just kind of stuff happening, and then really awesome results in the
Yeah,
end.
this might be my favorite episode. We were talking during the episode. I was like really panicking because I thought Fishback was gonna go. Like he's getting a lot of screen time. He's going to go home. This is so bad. Uh,
I didn't
and
make any boot quotes though.
he had a lot of things said though. I don't. It just seemed like is like oh it was bad. I don't know. I was scared, but just sheer jubilation when Savage's name is the one on that parchment and not Fishback, which is the right play, as we said like
Yeah,
half an hour
for
ago
sure.
when we were still making coherent thoughts. All right, I think we did it.
Definitely did it.
Yeah, we will
Mission
be.
accomplished.
Yep, we'll be back next week talking about Joe's exit from the game.
How did they know?
How did they? We've been spoiled. Um, I really want him, but they're just gonna keep doing ball challenges, and it'll be a battle between the two epic competitors, Keith Nail and Joey Amazing.
This time you have 2 plates to bounce the balls on.
Okay, yeah, bounce a ball with your hand while keeping a vase with a ball in it on a platform with your foot. All right,
I probably will do that
they probably will. Yeah, maybe
because
not
that
the holding a ball.
was recent, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did that. The first time they did that was Redemption Island. They're just like balance a vase by keeping your foot on the end of a seesaw kind of board type deal.
Did anyone in this who's from Redemption Island this season? No one.
I don't think anyone. Natalie Tenorelli was up for it, but super didn't make it.
All right. Well,
Yeah. All right. We'll probably see the challenge at some point. I'm staring at the cast. I could have just looked. I don't think anyone is. All right. We're done. We did it. Hit the buttons that make numbers happen or something to the video and the channel. We'll see you next week.